So, welcome to the new episode of Travel World Online. In this series, we are talking about the geopolitical situation and its impact on Indian travel market. We have Dr. Subhash Goyal with us. He needs no introduction. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
How are you, sir, today?
Very good. Can be better.
Just wanted to ask you, sir, you are here in the trade for a very, very long time. You've seen almost every kind of situations. I go back like Ebola happened, bird flu took place, we had the corona took place, and then came this war. How do you compare, sir, these situations? Is this also like corona or like what happened with Ebola or what happened with Operation Sindoor? Or do you see it in a different light for the travel trade?
Well, there is a saying that when the going gets tough, the tough get going.
Well said, sir.
Travel agents and tour operators in this country are the most versatile people. They are used to turning challenges into opportunities. I think out of all the crises that you mentioned, the worst was the COVID crisis. And in the COVID crisis, there was absolutely no income. And it was a very big challenge for all of us how to keep our offices, keep paying the rents, and how to keep our staff and keep paying them salaries without a single rupee income. Now, if we people have been able to surpass that, compared to that challenge, this war is a very small challenge, and I'm sure it should be over in the next few days. Even if the war continues, we have alternatives. You see, firstly, the traffic to and from the Middle East has completely dried up because, we have 9 million people of Indian origin in the Middle East, which is Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Doha, Qatar, Kuwait, Bahrain, Oman, all these countries. Now, out of which the largest number, about 3 million people of Indian origin, are there in the Dubai and Abu Dhabi alone. Now, these people, their families keep traveling, they keep traveling, and a lot of them, apart from visiting their hometowns, are also NRI tourists. They visit other destinations, they visit other places whenever they get a vacation. And similarly, there are a lot of expats who live in the Middle East who come to India as tourists also. So as far as tourism to India is concerned, from the Middle East, that has completely dried up. And similarly, the outbound to the Middle East has also completely dried up. We have about approximately 2 million people who go to Dubai, Abu Dhabi and some of these countries. Now that business has also totally dried up. There was a lot of MICE and weddings. Dubai, Abu Dhabi were wedding destinations and their tourism boards used to support these events. But unfortunately, even Qatar had come up in a big way. Doha had come up as a MICE destination. But unfortunately, till this war goes on, this has completely dried. But there is an opportunity now, not only for India, to attract the people who are going there, but also our neighboring countries like Nepal, Sri Lanka, Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, Japan, Australia, New Zealand. So tourism to all these countries is going up. And Indians also who are traveling to these destinations have started looking east. And those who have to go to the US, they are also going across the Pacific rather than going across the Atlantic.
If I may interject here, sir, with the since you spoke about the people going to long haul destinations, isn't it that the ticketing business is severely impacted? And I also feel that the lot of rules and regulations changed very fast. So one, I feel that the Indian travel agent is very vulnerable at this situation, sir. What is your take on that, sir?
Well, you have to constantly keep evolving yourself. I mean, I'll give you our example of Stick Travels. We were purely, when we started, we were dealing only with students as student travel. Later on, we went into normal business, and then we went into airline GSA representation business. Now, when the zero commission came in and airlines started selling net fares directly on their websites, so we continue with the GSA business, but we are a 100% B2B company. But we have diversified into cruises. Now we have 8 cruise companies, and we are still adding on. We have 11 international airlines, but 8 cruise companies. We are also in the rent-a-car business. We have the Alemo National and Enterprise self-drive rent-a-car all over the world. So similarly, I want all travel agents who are just totally dependent on outbound. There were some travel agents who were dependent only in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. I will advise them that you start selling east and start selling domestic tourism. Indian middle class is traveling. Indian weddings and Indian MICE industry, the whole Indian travel tourism industry and the wedding industry is close to $1 trillion industry. Now, there's a lot of opportunity in domestic tourism. Even inbound tour operators, I advise them that please keep constantly reinventing yourself. Unless and until only those species have survived who have adapted themselves to change. The dinosaurus was the most powerful mammal, but it could not survive because it did not adapt itself to change. Whereas other mammals like elephants and all other mammals adapted themselves to change and they are surviving.
So there is a temporary setback, as what I understand from you. But this temporary setback for a travel agent could be very difficult, especially if he has visas to manage. If he has somebody who has holidays which were, like the customer holidays period is high season between March through June. Here, even if you are innovative, sir, I think the travel agent would still be impacted. What would you guide us here, sir?
No, you see, travel agent is constantly impacted. There are always challenges. Two industries get affected. Whenever there is a war-like situation or there's a pandemic or anything happens, one is the stock exchange and the second is travel and tourism. Everyone wants a safe environment to travel, and that is why I advise all travel agents that you have to keep reinventing yourself. You have to see, because every dark cloud has a silver lining. Every challenge you have to look at the opportunities in the challenge. I remember that a lot of people who are traveling, selling only Middle East, have started selling, Southeast Asia, have started selling, and a lot of people have gone into domestic tourism. Our company also was only 100% outbound, wholesale, but right now we have got the GSA for, IRCTC luxury trains like Maharaja Express, like all the Palace on Wheels, which is a private one, and all the luxury trains we've got the GSA, and we are wholesaling this. So we have to constantly keep evolving, unless or until, because every day is a challenge, and every day you have to find a new solution. That is my advice to the travel agents, tour operators, and the entire industry.
So there are two things. Airfares have gone 40 to 60% up. Indian airfares are always all-time high, and increasing further, adding 40 to 60%. So how this is going to impact domestic tourism? That is one.
See, for domestic tourism, I have always said that both DGC and the government has to strike a balance. On one side, their main objective is to take care of the traveling public. And second is, they do not want airlines to go bankrupt, like Jet Airways, Go Air, and Sahara and all have gone bankrupt. So they have allowed airlines to have free, fare fluctuation depending on the market forces. I agree with that we have to allow airlines to make money, and I also agree that whatever the direct operating cost of the airline is, you have to give them 100 to 200% profit. But you cannot exploit the consumer. You have to have a upper capping. Because of this war, I think airlines cartel put pressure on the government and they were able to get the capping removed. But there is a rider on that if the airlines don't discipline themselves, then the recapping will be reintroduced. And when government talks about free market economy, my advice to them is that if you can fix the rates of taxi drivers from airport to the hotel and hotel to the airport, then there is no reason why you can not fix airfares or at least have a upper capping. You allow them to make 200% profit, which is a very good profit on whatever their direct operating cost is. But ultimately, capping will be needed. Yes, temporarily, I agree with DGCA, I agree with the government that there is a long haul people have to take. They have to fly airline which was flying to Europe, which was taking 7, 8 to 9 hours, is now taking 11, 12 to 13 hours. So there is a detour, more fuel is being burned, and 40% of the direct operating cost of an airline is ATF, aviation turbine fuel. So government has removed taxes on ATF, they have reduced the prices also, but at the same time, they have allowed airlines to, they have removed the capping. Earlier, they had removed the capping on, seat selections, 60% they had said that, but I think with the pressure for, they have reintroduced that. So I think government should not work under pressure. Government should work in the larger national interest and take the interest of the consumer, like they have done on the Udan scheme, which has really benefited smaller destinations. People going from one point to key point in tier 2, tier 3, and tier 4 cities.
So, now how we can convert this into an opportunity, because outbound is more or less, we have got a huge outbound market. Now people don't want to go on long haul flights. They want to go to purani cheez aas-paas. So how we can convert that into an opportunity?
I already mentioned that domestic tourism is a very big opportunity. I mean, this is a long weekend. There were 1 or 2 destinations we have not been to. I wanted to go with my wife on a long weekend, but all 5-star hotels were completely sold out in that destination. So, I mean, people are driving to nearby destinations. Some of the hotels are so good, some of the resorts are so good, they're destinations in themselves. And a lot of people go with families, they enjoy themselves, and there is a change of atmosphere. So, being the fastest growing economy in the world, and being the 4th largest economy, and soon going to become the 3rd largest economy, I think the purchasing power of the middle class has increased, and the young generation, where the husband and wife both are working, there are a lot of disposable income, and people go to driving destinations nearby. And around every city, whether it is Delhi or it is Mumbai or it is Chennai or it is Calcutta or it is Bangalore, there are a lot of destinations nearby which are driving destinations. So, and if you plan in advance, and a lot of travel agents book tours on proper block air seats on proper destination at cheaper prices, and they're able to sell them also. So there is a lot of opportunity in domestic tourism. So India, fortunately, we are in a country where India is a very big market. It is the largest populated country in the world. And even if 5% or 10% of the population travels, there's a huge market. We don't have to go to abroad.
Sir, on the opportunity part, I just want to interject here. Do you see that with the infrastructure becoming very good, and India having, let's say, some now 100 airports put together, do you think India can also become a transit hub? Because we are strategically very rightly positioned. One side is the Middle East and the Europe, and the other side is the Far East for us.
You see, the other day in the Indian Chamber, we had the Director General of Civil Aviation. And we were discussing with him that you will have to change your bilaterals if India wants to become a transit hub. Right now, according to the bilaterals that are there, there's an air services agreement between country A and country B, and airlines can operate from point 1 to point B, and they cannot pick up passengers. No international airline can pick up passengers. Uh, for example, if one airline is flying into Delhi, and from there they want to fly into, Singapore, they can fly Delhi, Singapore, and have a technical stop in Delhi, but they cannot pick up passengers in Delhi. So this is known as fifth freedom and sixth freedom. So if two destinations have become a transit hub, Singapore and Dubai. Singapore and Dubai developed because we had a restrictive aviation policy. Dubai developed because Bombay was the original gateway city to the west coast or to the west across Atlantic. But Dubai opened up its sky. They give fifth freedom, sixth freedom. Anyone who wants to land in, they have an open sky. And Dubai, they have open trade and open sky. And Dubai, compared to all the other Middle East countries, produces hardly has any oil for export, whereas Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Oman, they all have. So still, the economy of Dubai, because of open sky and open trade, has gone up. I've mentioned this in my book on poverty eradication through tourism. I've given the example of Dubai, and so is the example of Singapore. Singapore also, when it was cut away from Malaysia, it was a fishing village basically. Lee Kuan Yew had the vision, and because of that vision, he opened the skies and he opened the trade. And today, Singapore has become a world banking and hub for international finance.
So you just mentioned about Middle East as transit hub. So how much dependency on Middle East hub is affecting Indian market?
It's totally affected, and this is a great opportunity for India, not only to attract all the MICE and wedding destinations, but also to attract all the airlines to transit through. If you have one policy that all airlines which were transiting through Dubai, you allow them traffic rights to transit through Delhi or Bombay or Hyderabad or Kochi or Bangalore, then I'm telling you that it will make a revolutionary change. And whatever these tariffs or Trump, we will earn so much foreign exchange in landing charges, navigational charges, and ground handling that we will become not only number 3, we will become the number 1 country.
One more to add to this, sir.
If I'm not missing, Middle East, hub has 14% share of the global transit. Am I right, sir?
Yeah, 14 to 15%.
Yeah.
Sir, one more to add to this. Like you are an cruise expert. You said your organization does some representation of some 11 cruises. Do you see India becoming also a cruising hub? Like maybe we have a replica of Florida in India, Miami is happening out of India.
You see, I have been taking this up, and since the days when I was president of the Indian Association of Tour Operators, we have made representations to the Ministry of Shipping and Ports, and I'm very happy to inform you that today, I remember we had brought a Holland America cruise ship into Mumbai, and we had parked, and next to it was a cement being offloaded, and there was so disgusting. We had to put up temporary shamanas in order to welcome people at the port, and then the taxi drivers were hassling outside and all. So plus immigration. If you go on an international cruise, all that they give you is a smart card.
Yeah.
And that card has all your details, your passport number, your everything. And every year I take a cruise holiday with my wife and family. And on these cruises, whenever we go, it takes hardly 4 or 5 minutes to go from the ship to the coast, because there are machines, you can scan your card, and that's it. There is no immigration, there is no custom, only the scanning of your card is there. And that itself, everything is done.
Sure,
We went to on a Scandinavian cruise, we went to St. Petersburg. So the immigration people had embarked the ship one port before, and all passports and visas were issued from the ship itself. So we have now a Cruise Bharat mission, which is under the Ministry of, and their mission is to attract cruises into India. And I am very happy to inform you that today at the Mumbai cruise terminal is a world-class cruise terminal. It is as clean, as modern as the Delhi International Airport. So the Mumbai cruise terminal is good. There are cruise terminals coming up in Cochin, in Goa, in other places. You see the infrastructure, this government is doing one thing very good, that they have put all infrastructure, whether it's the roads, about 16 kilometers of roads are being built every day, about uh, similarly railway tracks are being built, about 32 kilometers of roads are being built every day, and 16 kilometers of rail tracks are being laid every day. So we are on a fast track, and the economy is growing with leaps and bounds. And we have a hiccup because of the Gulf War, because there were about $100 billion foreign exchange that comes from the Middle East countries into India every year, and this is bound to reduce to about half, about $50 billion to $60 billion. And I pray to God that this war is over fast, and the Middle East economy is, our economy is quite vibrant. Our exports of fruits, vegetables, rice, a lot of exports go to the Middle East. So I think we want the things to be wound up, we want to wind up as soon as possible, so that our economy and trade still progresses at 7 to 8%, which it was doing.
Two, three very beautiful things emerged out of this talk today. One is that a voice for cruise, which was created long back with under Sir's supervision, has taken a good turn today. Second, the takeaway is brilliant of saying that India can be a transit hub. And I hope today what you are saying, sir, that becomes a reality for tomorrow. And the last one which I would like to ask you is, this war just happened and the entire travel trade got affected. What would you say to the travel fraternity if something like this again happens? What they should do today?
Firstly, I'll just finish the cruise part of it. No, India has 7,500 kilometers of coastline. We have more than 5,000 islands, apart from Andaman Nicobar. There are a lot of small islands. If you count even the uninhabited islands, we have about 11,000 islands, right, which have not been promoted. So with cruise tourism coming in, all the coastlines can become hubs. We can have cruise terminals all along the coast. So that can be a very, very big, foreign exchange earner and employment generator. And now my advice to the travel agents or tour operators or the industry is, first is we are very resilient. We have overcome all these challenges. If we have overcome COVID, we can overcome anything. And secondly, I will advise all travel agents and tour operators to not to keep all your eggs in one basket, right? Don't just focus on one destination, because any destination can dry up at any time. You must have alternatives, and you must have alternative destinations ready. And whatever you do, you must have a domestic tourism wing, because domestic tourism will never dry up. Whatever may happen, people need food, and people need to travel, and people need to be educated. So, and last thing that I will advise everyone is technology. You see, utilize this time in upgrading your skills, in upgrading your websites, using artificial intelligence for answering those regular questions which people ask, because that is the future. Without artificial intelligence, without technology, you cannot survive. And if you have to survive, you have to use technology as a marketing tool, as an enabler of developing your products, and also as an enabler for answering your have uh, AI powered chat boxes which can answer all your telephone calls and all your this, and only when it is materializing, then human interface is necessary.
So today has been a great takeaways about the cruise, India becoming an transit hub, travel trade to not put all their eggs in one single basket, look at various options, opportunities around. And that's the best thing to have, sir, with
True,
us.
very true.
Thank you, sir, for joining us. It has been an absolute pleasure to have you around. And I hope we keep on getting these opportunities to interact with you in future.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thanks.
Thank you.
You are watching Travel World Online.